Hey, Tiffany, are you there? Were you at the mall yesterday?
Oh yeah, I was picking up those snacks you asked for while I was out. They're all set and stocked up in the fridge and pantry, so they're all yours to enjoy.
Look, I want you to know something. Were you dressed properly?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by properly, but I dress just like I always do. It's the same attire I wear when I go to work, so it should be fine, right?
What? Hey, don't tell me you just wear regular clothes to work.
Well, yeah. Is there something wrong with that?
Well, yeah, you never know who might spot you or where you'll end up. Whenever you're out in crowded places, I'd appreciate it if you could dress presentably. Consider this for a moment. What if someone catches sight of you wearing shabby clothes? And that someone happens to be one of my friends or acquaintances. It would be a complete disaster, don't you think? By the way, were you wearing any makeup?
Yeah, I was wearing makeup. Why? What's up?
Oh, that's a relief. My coworker told me he saw you.
Okay. The one who came to our wedding?
That's the one.
What did he say?
He said you look beautiful, just like always. But I couldn't help but detect a hint of flattery in his voice. It's pretty obvious, I think.
Haha, well, I guess I can't argue with that.
I mean, you're okay, but not as good as before.
Huh? What do you mean?
You understand, don't ya? Back when we got married, you were young and drop-dead gorgeous. There were no bad angles for you whatsoever. But lately, well, let's just say your age is starting to make an appearance.
My age? I suppose my skin isn't as youthful as it once was, but I don't think you need to put it that way.
Absolutely. Even to this day, I really believe you're the most stunning woman in any room we walk into. That's precisely why I married you. However, let's be real. You're not as young as you once were. So when you're heading out, could you make an effort to always look fashionable? You should look classy wherever you go.
Hey, I think you're exaggerating a bit here. It's not like my clothes have actual holes in them or anything. Plus, I never leave the house with the intention of looking bad. I always take the time to put on decent clothes before going out in public or meeting people. Trust me, I've got it covered.
Hold on. That's not exactly what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that you should maintain your feminine allure. I've noticed you haven't had your hair and nails done lately, and you haven't bought any new clothes either. Why aren't you keeping up with these things? Look, as someone who didn't finish high school, your looks are really your strong suit, you know?
It's not like I dropped out because I wanted to. You know my grades in high school were pretty good.
But in the end, you still dropped out. People who haven't finished school are, well, can you even really call them adults? Do you even know how lucky you are? You were still able to find someone to get married because of your great looks. You should be really grateful to your birth parents for giving you those genes.
Hey, cut it out. You know I hate my birth parents. It's because of them that I couldn't finish high school. They threw me out of the house. As far as I'm concerned, the Andersons are my real parents.
You mean that Anderson guy who escorted you down the aisle, right? The one who runs that old rundown gym? Let's be real here. Your good looks probably played a role in him showing interest in you too. If you were anything less than attractive, I doubt he would have given you the time of day.
Don't talk about him like that. He actually helped me when I was in a tough spot, gave me a place to stay, and made sure I had enough to eat. I'm forever grateful for the help he's given me.
Anyway, forget about your past. What I'm trying to say is that your face has played a big role in getting where you are today. That's why it's important for you to prioritize it and not let your beauty fade away.
No way. That's not true at all. Sounded like you're implying that I'd be worthless if my face isn't pretty.
At any rate, the best thing for you is to keep taking care of your appearance, since, well, you don't have much else going on upstairs. If you end up becoming just an ordinary old woman, then what kind of value would you bring?
Don't I have value just being myself? Am I that bad to you?
What do you mean? I'm saying that having good looks alone holds value. Oh, are you talking about that whole what's on the inside stuff? Well, if that's the case, you're going down the wrong path. Haha.
What?
Looks are everything for a woman. Taking care of the housework is a given. Even the uggos can do that. And things like having a good personality or being smart don't really change how people look at women. Anyway, I know it's difficult for you to understand since you didn't finish high school, but what I'm trying to say is that you're really lucky that you're so beautiful.
I don't think that's true at all. And it's really not nice of you to say these things. It's appreciated if you would be more mindful of your words when discussing women. Feels like you're belittling us, and that's not cool or respectful.
Well, by virtue of being a woman, you wouldn't understand. That's the reality of things. So if you want me to keep you around, you should work hard to keep up your appearance. That's it. Don't let me be disappointed.
What time are you coming home? It's been 3 hours since you left to take that woman home.
Maybe 2 more hours? I don't know. Depends on the traffic.
What are you doing at the moment?
Hey, does it really matter that much? It feels like you're interrogating me or something with all these questions. Can we maybe lighten up the mood a bit?
Of course it matters. And I need to ask you a few questions about that anyway. Like, first of all, why was there a strange woman at our place? Do you know how surprised I was to come home from work and find the two of you just eating dinner like it was nothing? I thought I was in the wrong apartment for a second.
I told you, she's just someone from my department, that's all.
Yeah, but why was she at our place? You didn't even have work today. Do you know how wrong that sounds?
She said her stove only has 1 burner. I guess that makes it really hard to do her meal prep for the week, so I told her she could use our stove. It's not like you're using it when you're at work. What's the problem with her using it when you don't need it? Anyways, it's your own fault for coming home early. You ruined our moments together.
How was it my fault? It's your fault for not telling me in advance.
What? It's my apartment. I can invite over anyone I want.
We're married, so it's my apartment too.
I'm the one paying the rent. You have something to say?
Well, of course I have something to say. What am I supposed to think when you have a woman over at our place without telling me? It didn't look like that was just a normal dinner with the boss. She was all over you. Do you really mean to tell me you're just co-workers?
Blah, blah, blah. What are you trying to say?
I think it's pretty clear. There's something going on between the two of you.
And what if there is?
Huh?
This is getting tiring, so let's just cut to the chase. That was my girlfriend. You happy? Stop beating around the bush.
I don't understand. What do you mean that's your girlfriend? We're married.
And just because I married you, that means I can't have a girlfriend?
That's exactly what it means. That's called infidelity.
What of it? You want to divorce me?
What am I supposed to say when you put me on the spot like this? Well, yeah, I guess so. It's really nothing else to do. That's what you want, isn't it?
I don't care. Either way, I would still classify you as beautiful for the time being.
Even though you're always putting me down, I thought you still had some feelings for me. You were so kind when we were dating and when we first got married. But I guess that was all just an act. You never really liked me, did you?
The reason I was so nice was because you were so beautiful. I had to be nice to get you to fall for me. And because you were so beautiful, there was actual value in having you around. It was a fair trade.
I see. I'm finally seeing how stupid I've been.
Well, you never finished school, so what do you really expect? Even though you finally realized that you're not good enough, it's too late now. I told you before. When your looks fade and you're just another old woman, you're gonna have to take a hike.
And that's why you got a new girlfriend?
Exactly. You've been getting pretty tedious, and you've had a mouth on you too lately. That purity that you used to have when we first met seems to be all spent up. I guess women like you have a short expiration date. I've realized early 20s really is the peak, haha.
There's no other way to think about it, huh?
Anyway, If you're willing to reflect on the things and work hard to please me with every last ounce of your youth, I'm willing to put a pin in this for now. After all, if I tell you to just pack up and get out, you don't really have anywhere to go, do ya?
I guess that's true.
You know, women have to spend their lives doing just what men tell them to do. If they don't, there's no way for them to survive. So, if you want to stay in my apartment, I don't want to hear any more back talk from you. If you cross me one more time, I don't even know what will happen to you. You understand?
I understand.
There. That's the spirit. If you just do what I say like a good girl, everything will be fine. Hey, your shift finished at noon today, right? Hurry up. Get home and cook some dinner. You know I don't like doing anything on my days off.
Ben, I passed.
Huh? Past what?
The paralegal certification.
Haha, what are you talking about? There's no way that's possible. You must have been scammed or something. I've taken the test I don't know how many times, and I haven't been able to pass it. If I can't pass it, even after finishing college, there's no way that a high school dropout can manage it.
I thought that you would finally approve of me if I could do it. So, I've been studying real hard. It's taken 4 years, but I finally passed. So stop calling me stupid, okay?
Are you serious right now?
I'm serious. I just checked the results online. They'll mail the certificate a bit later.
I see. That's it. I've had it. As soon as you get home, you are in for it.
What?
You're unbelievable, woman. Sneak around studying behind my back. Not only that, but aiming for the test that I failed to spite me. Oh, I'm gonna whoop you.
The only study books we have at the apartment are the ones for the paralegal exam. I wanted to spend as little money as possible. And I thought that if I could pass that, you would stop looking down on me. I thought it would be a good way to get some of your approval.
Woman, you have lost your mind. Hurry up and get home. I'm gonna make sure you never step out of line again.
Let's be honest, you get annoyed no matter what I do.
That's enough out of you. I told you if you ever cross me again, I don't know what I would do. I just told you that. I've decided I'm going to beat that beautiful face until you are ugly.
Oh yeah? You think you can take me?
What? What do you think you're saying to me?
I told you before. The place that took me in when my parents tossed me out was a gym.
That cruddy old boxing gym? The one the guy who used to take you out on runs?
That's the one. I learned some basics while I was there. If you raise a thing against me, I could defend myself.
No problem. You do whatever you can, lol. But there's no way a woman can match a man in terms of strength. So I wouldn't get too cocky.
Got it. I've had it as well. I don't want to live my whole life being looked down on by you. I'm serious.
Tiffany, where are you? All your stuff was gone when I got home.
Does it really matter where I am? We're getting divorced after all.
Are you with that Anderson guy by any chance? I have to talk to you about something, so I'm heading over.
Don't bother. You probably just want to try and find a way to avoid going to court over hitting me, right?
About that. Of the two of us, I think I came out of scrap the most busted up. So why are you pressing charges against me? You say it was self-defense, but you broke my nose. It's gonna take up to 2 weeks to heal.
Then why don't you try and tell the police that it was me who beat you, if you can? But then I have video evidence that all I did was act in self-defense. Everything I did was completely legal.
First of all, just happening to have video evidence is totally impossible. You're at fault for coming home knowing that I was in the state that I would hit you.
I had no way to know if you would actually do it. You're always just all talk. But on the off chance that you actually tried something, I decided to film things just in case. And I have to protect myself. Being just a weak woman after all.
You're not weak at all, and I'm sorry for hitting you. That was wrong of me. But you were in the wrong too, don't you think? Going out of your way just to pass a test that you knew I kept failing.
But we already had the books and study materials at the house. In the beginning, all I wanted was your approval. I wanted you to acknowledge me for who I am on the inside. Stop making me feel ashamed of myself.
I acknowledge you, Tiffany. You're smarter than I am. So, are you satisfied? Will you drop the domestic violence charges against me? We'll do things how you want from now on.
I want to live my life the way I want from now on, with or without your approval. My eyes are finally open.
What do you mean your eyes are open?
It's been really rough on me all this time, having you treating me like I'm stupid just because I didn't finish school. But even though you made fun of me, I thought it couldn't really be helped. Because despite that, you still loved me and still married me.
That's right. I love you.
But just my looks, right? You had no interest in who I was inside. While we were dating and when we were first married, you said so many nice things about my personality. But it was just all talk. It was all a lie.
Relationships changed after people get married. The honeymoon period cannot go on forever.
I know that, and I acknowledge that I was really stupid for believing your sweet talk back then. But you started looking down on me more and more until everything that wasn't my appearance was just garbage. You called me worthless and other terrible things, more times than I can even remember. This isn't about the honeymoon period. You just never cared about anything but my looks from the very beginning. Once your looks fade, I'm going to tell you to take a hike. Who do you think you are?
What do you want me to say? That's just how men look at women. Can't be helped.
And so cheating is okay? Just because I'm getting older, maybe my looks are starting to fade, and I'm starting to stand up for myself. That makes it okay to fool around outside of our marriage? That's crazy. Do you really hate women that much?
Please listen to me, Tiffany. It's true. I think the case could be made that women are inferior to men. But, Tiffany, I acknowledge that you're better than other women. That should give you some confidence. And yeah, you're getting older and your best years are behind you, but you are top of the class for your age.
See, that's not really what I'm talking about. What I've realized is that the two of us will never see eye to eye. So as for the divorce and the domestic violence charges, I'd like to talk about all that with my lawyer from now on. This is the last time we're going to talk privately.
About the divorce. I want to talk to you about that. I've realized that I want to stay together. I mean, it's not every day you find a beautiful high school dropout who has a paralegal certificate. Your stock just shot way up in my books.
The thing is, I don't want to stay together, regardless of where my stock is in your book. You look down on me all the time, cheated on me, and even went so far as to hit me. I think anyone would agree that the situation's beyond fixing.
Hey, I'm telling you that I'm willing to continue the marriage. You should be happy.
Do you really not realize how terrible things are with you? All I did was massage your fragile ego, all while putting up with your abuse. I don't want to keep working hard just to try and earn a little bit of your approval. I finally realized how much of my life I've wasted doing that.
You had a comfortable life with me. You didn't want for anything.
A comfortable life? Even though you wouldn't give me any money to replace or change anything I didn't like. I had to get a part-time job because you wouldn't even give me enough money to go out to lunch. Life with you was hard, however you look at it, financially, mentally, or physically.
Maybe if you didn't always backtalk me.
Women aren't on this earth just to do whatever men say, and we aren't centerpieces. You just want accessory to make all your friends jealous. That's the only way you could think because you are small and have no self-worth.
What? I went to a pretty good college, and I make way more than average for my age.
Yeah, but you're not as smart as me. You went to college, but what good is that doing you? I'd say your stock is pretty middling.
Don't get carried away just because you passed a test.
Yeah, you made me like this. This is the result of your endless tyranny.
Alright, I get it. I'll agree to the divorce. I'll even go as far as to split the property with you. So please drop the domestic violence charges. I'm the one who got gingered after all.
You don't have any choice about splitting the property. And just as with any divorce, you're going to pay alimony as well. And no, I won't be dropping the charges.
Tiffany, we've lived together for 5 years. Don't you have any feelings? If you don't drop the charges, I could be arrested.
I hope you do get arrested. And if I don't have feelings, it must mean I'm the same as you. Was it fun tormenting me these past 5 years?
Tiffany, please. Outside of your looks, one of your best features is how kind you are. I really, really do understand you. I've seen that kindness.
Way too late for you to say anything now. We both know that you've never seen anything beside my looks. You're ugly inside now. You bring nothing to the table. And you're cheap to boot. Even though you make fun of me constantly, you're dumber and weaker than I am. What's your value? After that, Ben and I went through a divorce. The settlement awarded me alimony and I received an equal share of our assets. On top of that, he faced legal consequences for physically abusing me. However, since it was his first offense, he managed to avoid actual jail time. Instead, he received a fine and a restraining order. Nevertheless, I can imagine that having an arrest on his record had made some things more challenging for him. He had to take time off work during the police processing, which led to his company finding out about the details of his arrest. It turned out that he'd been mistreating women in his office based on their appearance, too. And although they tolerated it until then, the news of his arrest gave them the courage to come forward with their own stories. In light of the arrest and the internal complaints, his company made the decision to terminate his employment. Thankfully, Mr. Anderson, who had previously offered me a place to stay when I had nowhere else to go, kindly welcomed me back while I worked things out for my future. I'm so grateful for his support. Next month, I'll be starting a new job as a paralegal. It was a bit challenging not having a high school diploma, but fortunately, a private law firm heard my story and decided to give me an opportunity. I am determined to live a happy life from now on. Not just for the kind people who have helped me along the way, but also for myself. I believe that hard work, along with never forgetting about my inner beauty, will pave the way for a fresh start. It's time for me to embrace a new chapter in my life and strive for the happiness I deserve.